we present My Music, a musical panel game devised by Edward J. Mason and Tony Schreier. And here to introduce the teams is Steve Race.
Thank you. Hello. Whereas Ben-Hur had a cast of thousands, My Music has a cast of only 5. Apart from me, that means John Amos and Frank Muir versus Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. John Amos, start us off with a little musical identification. Who composed this?
I think that is Fauré.
Yes, Gabriel Fauré. Do you know the name of the piece? It comes from Sicily. I'll say it again.
No,
it comes from Sicily.
Oh, it's a Sicilian.
Yes. What? It was. It was played by Paul Dortillier. Fauré was right. I have to tell you that we were doing some time ago on this programme puns on composers' names in pieces of music. I've been overwhelmed with suggestions. Best of all, I think, came from Mr. K.O. Cutler of Lydney in Gloucestershire, who got 3 composers into one title, and it was Fauré who reminded me, because his title was Fauré's A Jolly de Falla, and So Sibelius. Which is really quite good working out. Only de Falla was here. Frank, you've been a university rector in your time. So, what is the connection between this music and a university?
Gaudia Musitor. It's not St Andrews.
No, it isn't. You got it in, though, didn't you? Worked it in.
I worked it in, yes. It's not the University of St Andrews. But I've had a spirit message from my left. Yes, and it's the University of Worms.
Yes. Well, yes. Can you give it a place, either of you?
Yes.
Begins with B.
Heidelberg, is it?
No, begins with B.
B?
Yes.
Breslau.
All right. Ian, your turn. Here is part of Beethoven's 2nd piano concerto, played by Claudio Arrau. Ian, which of Beethoven's piano concertos was written first, number 1 or number 2?
Well, on the basis that you would not have asked that question if they had been written in that order,
yes.
I think, having studied law, as I've pointed out more than once, rather than music, which explains why I don't know a great many things about music, would lead me to believe that the first one that he composed was in fact number 1, but that it was therefore numbered in a different order when it came in the
yes.
In the
rather nice distinction. If I'd said which was written first, the first or the second, of course the first would have been written first.
Yes,
however, it was numbered.
That's what I meant. But presumably the second was written first.
Yes, that's right. What's known as the second was composed before the first. You have a mark. Dennis, with your knowledge of the personalities of the music business, can you tell us what the connection is between these 2 records, the first of which is sung by Coffee and Cream?
I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way.
Yes?
Well, I've seen Coffee and Cream, and they're extremely attractive young couple, actually.
Yeah.
And the boy in it is the son of Ray Ellington, who we heard singing second.
I can see clearly now. They were singing the Neil Sedaka song, the first one. Yes, Mark. This next round has a theme which will become apparent. John, Gustav Holst's 1924 choral symphony was a setting for soprano, choir and orchestra of 4 poems by...
Keats.
Thank you. Mark, to you. Keats, yes. Frank, can you put a date to the letter which Keats wrote to his sister when he said, "Give me books, fruit, French wine, fine weather, and a little music out of doors, played by someone I do not know, a little chance music, and I can pass a summer without caring about Fat Louis, Fat Regent, or the Duke." Now that was Keats writing to his sister? A date.
It must be post-Napoleon.
Yes.
So it's right. After 1814.
Yes.
Well, Louis XVIII.
You're certainly near enough.
So it's, and Keats died early 1820s. So it's between 1814 and 1820. 1818.
Very nearly right. August the 28th, 1819. You got a mark. Keats writing to his sister Fanny. Ian, you'll have gathered by now that the subject of this round is John Keats. Writing from his sickbed in Hampstead to his beloved Fanny Brawn, Keats wrote, "There's that thrush again. I can't afford it. He'll run me up a pretty bill for music. Besides, he ought to know I deal at Clementi's." Rather nice thing to put in a letter. Tell me what you know, Ian, about Clementi. Or about thrushes.
Well, what an astonishing thing.
Oh.
Because if you had asked me that question a couple of weeks ago, I would have looked blank and would have tried to find out something about thrushes. But because in a record program I played a nocturne by the Irish composer John Field and looked up something about him, I discovered that when John Field was an infant prodigy or a teenage prodigy on the piano, he was brought over to London to work in Clementi's piano emporium.
There we are. Yes.
Because Clementi was a businessman in music. He was a teacher and he was a composer. And this poor kid of about 15 years of age had to play for the customers all the different pianos so that they could decide which one they wanted to buy. And he was paid next to nothing for this, but his wages were supplemented by lessons with the great Clementi. And finally Clementi gave up the piano warehouse to go on concert tour for 8 years, and took young Field to play and sort of look after him. And that finished up in St. Petersburg, and Field got stranded in St. Petersburg and has spent most of the rest of his life there.
Well, this is pure chance.
So that's all. I mean, I would have known nothing of that a couple of weeks ago. Well, lucky old me.
Yes, pure chance. Very good. Just for the record, Muzio Clementi. Dennis, sorry.
I was just saying, wouldn't it be terrible if he was wrong?
Well, he's not.
Well, in that case, I have, on a programme for British Forces Broadcasting Service, I have led them all up the garden path.
Muzio Clementi, born in Rome, died in Evesham in Worcestershire.
He got back.
He composed Dr. Gradus ad Parnassum, of course. He was the first real composer for the pianoforte, as opposed to the forte piano and other aberrations. Dennis, accepting that the nightingale is a musical instrument and therefore fair game for this programme, who, in Keats' Ode, heard the nightingale's voice in ancient days?
Well, a lot of people.
Choice.
Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird, no hungry generations tread thee down. The voice I hear this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperor and clown, perhaps the self-same song that found a path through the heart of Ruth when sick at heart
for home.
When sick for home she stood She, in tears amid the alien corn, the song that oft times charmed magic casements on the foam of perilous perilous seas and fairy lands forlorn.
There's only one possible comment. I shall offer it on the piano. Yes, indeed. There are many degrees of fame, but I suppose ultimate fame is to be known under just one name, like Keats, or Churchill, or Picasso, or Wallace, for that matter, to think of it. These four people you're about to hear are, or were, known under just one name or nickname. Amos, you first. Who was this, giving a rather revealing version of Caronome? A name.
Aldra Hiss.
No. It was a very elderly 78 record, or probably 80 when it was recorded, yes. She was born in Florence, died in Milan in 1940. She was a sensation as Violetta and as Lucia. First name was Luisa Tetrazzini. I helped you, but it was a difficult one because you could scarcely hear her anyway, yes. Tetrazzini it was, singing. That extraordinary change of tone on different notes. Yes, exactly. A different kind of singer for you, Frank. Just one name, remember, and notice the accent.
When I was just a little bitty girl, I had a little bitty pair of shoes. They were brown and ugly, but I knew just what to do. Well, I shined them in the morning, I polished them bright. When nobody was looking, we danced into the night. We danced to marching music, and we danced into the blues. Oh, Lord, help the poor man that I love in those shoes.
One name, nickname.
It wasn't clear. It wasn't one voice, really, most of the time, was it?
No.
No idea.
Twiggy. Was Twiggy singing Brown Shoes? Ian, over to you. This singer is accompanying himself.
First you take some gravel and then you pour it in a bulk to make a mess of mortar. You take cement and water. See the mellow Rooney come out. Slurp.
Now, do you recognise the voice?
Oh, dear.
Frank did. No?
No, I don't think I do.
No. I wasn't listening, I was sulking.
Right, audience
American.
Again. Who was it? It was Liberace, singing Cement Mixer and playing the piano.
On this program.
Yes. Dennis, for you, a single-named rock singer from the 50s.
Hey, lump of sugar, you look kinda sweet. Cuter than a baby walking down the street. When I look into your eyes, I wanna leave. I can't conceal that you make me feel like a tiger. Ooh, like a tiger. Ooh, just to see you smile really drives me on the ground. Wow.
The only single-name rock singer I can remember from the 50s is Millie. Do you remember Millie?
It wasn't Millie, no.
And I can't, and it's not that. It wasn't Millie. It was
a young gentleman. He made films with Bing Crosby and John Wayne.
Wasn't Ward Bond.
No.
I really don't know.
He was on the Alamo, this one, wasn't he, as I seem to recall?
The Alamo.
Audience, who was he? Thank you, Fabian.
You.
Yes, he was Fabian. It was worth losing a mark to learn that, wasn't it, Dennis? Yeah. Right, to the piano. To the piano. I'm going to play not middles for a change, but ends.
Oh.
So the question will be to each of you individually, what ends like this? John, what ends like this?
When I worked for the London Philharmonic Orchestra one time, I was doing the printing, and I nearly got the push because the proof arrived and it said one of the works was on cooking the first hero in spring.
By Lydius, yes. Yes, on Delius, on hearing the first cook in spring. Yeah. Right, Frank, what ends like this? Any idea?
Yes.
Yes. You're right. Ding.
It goes on a bit, doesn't it, before that?
Oh, very much.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. If I was a bell, I was ringing. I'd be ringing.
If I were a bell, that's
if I
right.
were.
If I were a bell, you've got a mark. Yes. Ian, what ends like this?
Yes, well, I suppose that would make a very suitable signature tune for a television programme on sheepdog trials, because while that's going on, they could safely graze.
Sheep may safely graze. J.S. Bart, yes. Dennis, what ends like this?
Yes, I should hear it on trombone, shouldn't I?
Exactly.
Yes. In the mood.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, in the mood it was. That's right. Yeah. Good. Right. Let's try another round. General musical questions ranging over the last couple of centuries. John, what Süssmayr did for Mozart, Derek Cook did for Mahler. Did what?
Süssmayr is supposed to have finished the Requiem of Mozart, and Derek Cook certainly finished the 10th Symphony for Gustav Mahler, who had the word printed on his gravestone, Mahler.
Yes.
Frank. Why not?
Yeah?
Frank, what can you tell me about the Ghost Trio?
Well, they couldn't play live.
They would be miming to playback. They would, that's right.
Spirit message.
Yes, from the Ghost Trio.
The port bow, Beethoven.
Yes, a nickname for Beethoven's piano trio in D. Do you know an opus number?
Hang on. Do we know an opus number?
I was looking at John at the time.
Opus 70, number 1.
Yes, that's right. The name suggested by the slow movement, of which we hear just a trace now. Part of the aptly named Ghost Trio by Beethoven. Ian, here's the cast list, or part of it, of an opera first performed in 1919. There's a distiller, a sportsman, a voice across the water, and a character called Councillor Skinnerup. There are 2 names in the title, Somebody and Somebody, and Elizabeth Söderström plays both parts on a record album. Do you know what the opera is? 1919.
1919.
Shall I give you a little piano clue? You either do know or don't know, I think.
Lovely.
Yes, it was very sweet.
The faintest idea.
No. John, do you happen to know?
Yes, it's got something to do with the steel and iron industry.
Yes.
Fenimore Iron Girder.
Yes. It's Delius's Fenimore and Girder is the name of the opera. And you look as though you're glad to know that.
I'm very, yes. If you ask me that another time, I might get it.
Right. Dennis, what particular contribution to the art of music was made by Fabian Stedman of Cambridge in the 17th century?
He lent his Christian name to a rock singer of the 50s.
That's just earlier part of programme refers.
Yes. Stedman?
Stedman, yes.
Would I be right in taking a clue from Dorothy Sayers?
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Stedman triples are a part of bell ringing, I believe.
Yes, he was the great protagonist of change ringing, Fabian Stedman. He published Tintinologia in 1668. Bell ringers know all about his name. Over to the final songs, which are romantic, smoochy, and the fourth three, and there's a philosophical song about the open road. John Heuberger, the composer, the opera ball, the operetta, Im Chambre Séparée, the song, and what a gorgeous melody it is. Let us perform it for all it is worth, and it's worth rather a lot, isn't it? Lovely song, this.
Well,
in the key of
put
D.
in my imaginary monocle.
Gehen wir in Chambre séparée, ach, zu dem süßen Tête-à-Tête, dat bei einem Champagner und Suppe man aller sich leichter gesteht. Gehen wir in Chambre séparée, ach, zu dem süßen Tête-à-Tête, da-da-da-di-di, na-so einmal tat, ich leichter gesteht.
I believe the Viennese call that Mitschlag. Am I right? Yes?
What I love about it is that the German and Austrian singers always cock up the French somewhat. You know,
Yeah.
It's never chambre séparée, but chambre séparée. Tête-à-tête.
They weren't the only ones towards the end, were they?
No. The English
I
can also
found you,
make a
though.
muck of things.
I found you, didn't I?
Thank you.
Right.
Ich war gefunden.
Frank.
Yeah.
On a slightly different musical plane, your song rhymes cozy, dozy, and tozy. And it's the one that starts...
Oh, Lord. Yes, this is a lovely early song. It's very sentimental, isn't it?
Yes.
It's con-sentiment.
Yeah, consent. Try it. Try that.
Cuddle up a little closer, lovey mine. Cuddle up and be my little clinging vine. Like to feel your cheeks are rosy. Like to feel you comfy, cozy, 'cause I love from head to toesy, lovey mine.
Okay. Dennis,
Right, it's all going to cut through the sentiment like vinegar.
No, yes. It's still sentimental in a rather revolting sort of way. How do you feel when you marry your ideal?
Oh, this is kind of, yes, jaunty jolly. Yes. How do you feel when you marry your ideal? Ever so goosey, 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 goosey. How do you feel when the bells begin to peal? Ever so goosey, 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 goosey. Walking down the aisle in a kind of daze. Don't you get the wind up when the organ plays? How do you feel when the parson's done the deal? Ever so... And to think, Steve, there are still people who say that radio is merely mental wallpaper.
Steve, do you remember a song called, it wasn't Ever So Goosey, it was, There's No Sense Sitting on the Fence.
Oh, yes.
All by yourself in the moonlight. I met the man who wrote that, and he was running a spy school during the war.
Really?
His name was Major Edwards.
You've blown his cover now.
Oh, Oh, how marvellous.
They'll fish him out the Bosphorus.
What a spike. Piece of social history that have met the man who wrote that. Ian, I claim the credit for bringing this super old song to your attention. Remember, we were swapping old songs around the piano, and I fished out a battered old copy of...
Oh, yes. That lovely comedian he was,
yes,
too, Scott Sanders.
Yes.
Oh, dear, excuse me. You all right? Yes, I'm all right. I'm on the road to anywhere, with never a heartache and never a care. Got no home, got no friends, thankful for everything the good Lord sends. On the road to everywhere, where every milestone seems to say that through all the wear and tear, the road to anywhere may lead to somewhere someday.
Road to anywhere may lead to somewhere, even to a top A flat, Ian. Someday. Our road has led us to the end of this programme. It's a victory this particular week for John Amos and Frank Muir. Goodbye.
Taking part in My Music were John Amos, Frank Muir, Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. The chairman was Steve Race. The questions were compiled by Steve Race and the programme was produced by Tony Schreier. We present My Music, a musical panel game devised by Edward J. Mason and Tony Schreier. And here to introduce the teams is Steve Race.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to welcome you to My Music and to introduce our contestants, John Amos and Frank Muir, Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. In these programmes, we tend to favour somewhat the popular classics, which is not, John, what you could call this rather defiant piece. What is it, John? You know?
Is it Jacques Ibert?
No, it's very Ibert-ish, isn't it?
Neo?
But it's not. No, 1926, different European country entirely.
Oh, wait, yeah. It's all Bela Bartok.
Yes.
It's the Mandarin.
Yes, the what Mandarin?
Miraculous.
Yes, half a mark out of one. The Miraculous Mandarin by Bela Bartok. Right.
I thought The Miraculous Mandarin was a sequel to The Clockwork Orange.
That's very quick of you, very quick of you. Frank, with no help from John, see if you can recall what this is, and recollections of Disney might help you.
Sheer Fantasia, my dear.
Yes, indeed.
It's
right.
Night on a Nude Nodule. Or somewhat enlarged on a bare mountain.
Yes, by...
Stravinsky.
By who? What? No, not Stravinsky, no. Mussorgsky, yes, that's
as
right.
in pictures.
Yes, that's right. As in the pictures as an exhibition, yes. Mussorgsky's Night on the Bare Mountain. Ian, music from the same country, but rather less often played. feel that a suitable royalty to the composer for the performance of that might be an egg. Do you know what it is?
What sort of an egg?
A chocolate one.
A chocolate one? Oh, delicious. An Easter egg.
Now, it's something... Yes, it's a Russian work, we know that, don't we?
Yes.
Something
so
to do with
Russian
Easter
egg. Made of chocolate.
Try Fabergé.
Yeah. You're trying to confuse it, I think.
Who's the composer?
That's what I'm asking you. You did that awfully well, though, Ian. Terribly well.
It was
on the tip of my...
in 10, you get away with that.
Yes. It was on the tip of my Korsakov. Tip of my tongue, it was.
Rimsky.
Yes. I don't think you're going to get any bark, do you?
No,
it's Rimsky-Korsakov's Russian Easter Festival Overture. And so we come to Denis Norden's kind of music. Dennis, this is the voice of Ruth Etting. She's singing the verse of what?
Listen, big boy, now that I've got you made, goodness, but I'm afraid something's going to happen to you. Listen, big boy, you've got me hooked, and how I would die if I should lose you now.
Button up your overcoat when wind is free. Take good care of yourself. You belong to me.
Yes, Ruth Etting was the singer. Right. Names, next, of people or of things. John Amos, what did Schubert do for Schubert?
Published him.
I thought it sent him on his letters.
In a curious way, there's something in that, because he got rather annoyed, didn't he, John, that the two of them were confused at one point, and so did another chap with a similar name. He wrote the words for 4 Schubert songs, including...
Da-da-da-dee.
No.
Da-da-da-dum.
No. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Dum-dum-dum.
Yes, I can't give it. He wrote the words for the Trout.
Well, for
I was going to say the Trout, because the only Schubert song I remember.
Right.
Didn't you?
Awful.
Frank, you'll be all right with this one. What, in the context of this programme, what is a broadside? Not a shot across the bows of a man of war, but...
Yeah, it's a large single sheet of paper on which is printed a street ballad.
Yes. It has a particular musical connection.
Has it?
Yes.
Well, it's got music on it, so you could,
yes.
you could pick it out.
According to my information, it's intended to fit an existing tune. In other words, a tune that the people in the street know already, and they can sing it to it.
So kind of like Beggar's Opera.
Exactly.
You put modern words to
that sort of thing. It's a broad sheet, really,
with Sally Gardens.
With music. Ian, he made 7 different recorded versions of the Bach Toccata and Fugue in D minor, 6 recorded versions of the New World Symphony, 8 of Stravinsky's Firebird. These are all different versions, and he was the first conductor to record Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto. Who was he?
Well, these were all orchestral or some of them orchestral transcriptions.
Yes, including his own.
Yes.
Anyway.
This was the splendid old Stokowski.
Yes, it was Stokowski. Imagine making 6 different versions of the New World Symphony, 8 of Firebird. Yeah, certainly lived a long time and he did all that work. Dennis, one of the compositions already mentioned in this programme was dedicated to a psychiatrist. Have you any idea why?
What, something that we've already...
Some song that has been mentioned in this programme was dedicated to a psychiatrist.
Yes, it has to be Button Up Your Overcoat. Because...
I had a fear that it might.
Because my psychiatrist said if you want to get rid of these terrible nightmares you have about people wanting to kill you, you just have to stop singing on that programme. But at any rate, the answers now come through.
Yes.
The intelligence services work. Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto. Did we mention that?
Yes, I mentioned it about 20 seconds before you got started on your overcoat.
I was already tensing up.
It was dedicated by Rachmaninoff to Dr. Dahl, who regained for him his powers of composition through hypnosis. A very, very stirring and dramatic story, actually. All the titles in this week's piano medley start with the letter T. T for Tosca, T for Tico Tico. The first 4 songs, as usual, titles are for John and Frank to identify, the others for Ian and Dennis. And here's my medley. Let us have your bets, gentlemen. John and Frank, the first tune.
I've written, I can't remember the tune, but I've written, I think, Temptation.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I want to hear Temptation. That's right. Oh. Yes, Temptation. I was alone.
The second one was dum bum 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 bum.
Yes. With a T.
Make that begin with an A. Ah, vous dirais-je, maman.
Well, yes, we would, wouldn't you? But it has another...
well, what do you call it?
What would you call it, Frank? Starting with T.
Ah, vous dirais-je, maman.
Oh, come on. Let's not be so Mozartian. How I wonder what you're going to sing.
Twinkle,
twinkle, twinkle, little star.
I see I've typed here, twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Well, that'll do.
That'll do. Do I give it to you? I don't think I do. No, you didn't get it.
You do, because it's the original title of the song.
Twinkle,
written by a German, not by a Frenchman.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Oh, shut up.
Why should I shut up? I will say what I want to, my God.
Yes, I'm looking forward to telling you what I've typed for the next one. But carry on.
Tiptoe. Tiptoe through the two.
Or tiptoe through the two pills. Tiptoe through the two pills.
Me to shut up?
Yes. And the next one, please.
Yes, he is my lovely day.
Yes, that's right. 3.
This is the day I will remember, the day I'm dying.
Have you got any private work to get on with?
Right. 3 out of 4, 1.5 out of 2. Right, Chris? Anybody who sings more than the chorus pays a penalty. Ian, Dennis, the next 4. Dennis, the next one.
And tenderly.
Tenderly. Tenderly.
Well, the next one I think was really very sneaky, yes. Because it's La Vie en Rose, and it's Take Me to Your Heart Again.
Take Me to Your Heart Again. That was the one I wanted, so that's the one I got. 2 more.
Well, I'm not sure. What did you get? I found... Yeah, but there was... Yeah, yes, but because I've got 5 songs here somewhere. 'Tis Autumn.
'Tis Autumn, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've got a bit of Tenderly again.
Oh, not again, no.
How did it finish?
Da-da-da-dee, da-da-da-da. It's just to make the temperature...
Da-dee, da-da-da-da.
That's the line temperature. No.
Right?
No, wrong. And the last song...
T for 2.
Yes, thank you very much. T for 2 gets you 2 marks out of 2. Fair enough.
Oh, damn, Dennis, very good.
I got one that wasn't there.
This next round is to do with collecting. Someone who collects coins, and don't we all, is a numismatologist. Deltiology is the word for collecting... Frank, do you know?
Deltiology.
Deltiology.
Yes, the openings of rivers.
Any idea, Dennis?
Well, Ronnie Barker's got it in his book. It's postcards.
Well, yes, old postcards, that's right. Deltiology is collecting old postcards. And what's the word for matchbox label collecting? Anybody know?
Numismatist.
Yes, Philuminism is collecting matchbox labels. I don't know if there's yet a word for collecting gramophone records. What, I wonder, though, was the first record you ever remember buying? Not hearing, but buying. I have a very distinct memory. John, you went out with your painfully saved up, 1 9p or something, and you bought...
4 shillings.
4 shillings, you youngster.
4 shillings.
What did you buy?
I just discovered Debussy. I suppose I must have been about 9 or 10. And I went to the local record shop when they put it on, and he put it on incredibly loud.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think I'd been to a symphony concert at that stage. And this incredible noise of Debussy, very jazzy, Fête, conducted by Stokowski. Yeah. And I thought it was the most wonderful
incredible experience I'd ever had.
It's marvellous. Never forget, I don't think you ever forget the first record. Frank, have you remembered the first record you bought?
Yes, very clearly. On the beach at Broadstairs, we had a wind-up portable gramophone with the Rexine peeling off.
Yes.
And the first record I bought was transparent, and I think it was Benny Hale, and sang, "Won't you do what you done before, baby?"
Yes. Benny Hale. Ian?
I have clear memories of Tiger Rag, played by Harry Roy,
yes.
and it had that sort
Yes. Two pianos, too.
Got neither more than
Dennis, the first record you bought.
Yes, what one has to remember, of course, is that in those days, young people didn't buy records. I mean, I didn't buy a record till I was in my teens. Your parents bought records. We weren't the record buying public. The first record I remember was a record that used to give me nightmares. I used to have to sleep with the door open, you know, and the hall light on, and it was called Cohen on the Telephone.
Oh, I heard about that. Me too.
And it was a comedy record, but it gave me nightmares. And I think it explains quite a lot of things about the turn that my life took afterwards. I don't know how, but, you know.
Yes. Was that began, was you there?
That's right. And the bit that used to give me nightmares was he used to say, the fiend, I did not say the fiend came, I said the wind came. And that used to send cold chills down my spine. It's odd, isn't it? Funny kid I was.
Yeah. On a radio phone-in programme, I had a call from a lady who wanted to hear again a record which terrified her when she was tiny, and it was Nellie Lutcher's "Hurry on down to my house, baby, ain't nobody home but me." And we played it again, and we all, in the studio, we all felt a bit nervous about it. Well, now we know. Let's pay tribute to the dance in its various forms in this next round. John, who is dancing here according to the title?
I think it's the miller's wife, isn't it?
No, it's friends of hers, actually.
Oh, the
people who live nearby.
What?
People who live nearby.
Oh, the Voisians, the neighbours.
The neighbours, yes, the dance of the neighbours. I'll give you that. From the ballet.
The three-cornered.
Yes. Hat. Three-cornered hat. Yes, by Manuel de Falla.
El sombrero de tres picos.
That's true enough. Yeah. That too. Yeah. Frank, which dance is this?
Is that a fairground organ?
Yes, fairground organ. But it's a special dance.
Carousel. Is it? It's Scottish, isn't it?
Yes.
The Scottish country dance.
No, that's not the name of it. You ought to know. Bum, bum, little on your little left shoe. It had a great pop existence, this song. A little on your right foot too. Bum, 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 bum. It's the bum, 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 bum. The hopscotch polka. Okay, yeah. Don't remember it?
Really?
No.
I remember.
They sing it.
Won't you do what you do?
Yes. Ian, a dance for you.
My little baby says you can do it with ease. It's easier than learning your ABCs. So come on,
do what, Ian?
It's.
I think Dennis is drawing one.
Yes, it's locomotion.
Do the locomotion, yes. Dennis, Fred Astaire introduced many new dances in his time. Which of them was this?
You wanna dance, that's easy to do. And dig the one I'm hipping you to. I'm gonna teach you to fall in on what they are calling the...
I can tell you where it came. He did it with Leslie Caron in a college scene. And it must
think
have
you're
been
Yes,
Daddy
it was.
Longlegs in the film.
You're
Daddy-
right, it was Leslie Carroll, yes.
But I can't remember what the name of it was.
Slewfoot.
Oh,
It's what they are calling the Slewfoot. Sluefoot. Words, lest you should knock them, Frank, by Johnny Mercer.
Slewfoot, with the sloy.
Sloy, well, sort of, yes. Slewfoot is the answer. In this next round, remember to say, not sing, the answers, which are all found somewhere in the words of songs. There's a penalty if you should sing by mistake. John, where did our poor deluded bark lie?
Our bark. You mean, is this originally in English?
Yes?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're getting at, but...
Well, I was thinking it was the bark in a tree in long forest.
No. This is a floating type of bark, which lay somewhere or other. The audience will tell us where. In the Bay of Biscay. Yes, that's where our poor deluded bark lay.
I was thinking of B-A-R-K.
Well, it's spelt like that in the song copy I got it from. I know, you're thinking of cues and things, weren't you? Frank, when I talk to the trees, what do they do in response?
Well, they don't listen to me. I talk to them all. And they don't hear me.
That's right. The penalty is for singing, not for acting. Ian, as I walk beside you, what will I hide in your heart?
I nearly sang.
Yeah.
And in something about my tender something love I'll hide.
No, not quite. And in your heart, somebody's saying it down there in the second row.
Tender something I'll... Is it an I'll hide or
half a mark, I think. Love's tender words I'll hide. I'll walk beside you...
tender and hide.
With the eventide, yes.
Or Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes. Half a mark for you. Dennis, who's been too long in one place?
All I can think of is that one, where they're coming to take me away. I don't know. It's been too... You've been away from me a long time.
No,
I've been away from you a long time. I didn't sing.
You've been too long in one place.
No, I didn't know that. This strikes not the slightest tinkle.
To the audience again. Who is it?
Yeah,
nobody knows. You've been too long in one... Joey. That's the answer. You've been too long in one place. Don't you know it's Dennis?
Don't we?
Joey.
No, I don't know it, really.
American show tune. We must catch up on that one. Worship, or at the very least admiration, is the keynote of our final offering, the party piece songs in this last round. John, the worship in your case is Handelian and silent. Did you not hear my lady go down the garden singing?
Did you not hear my lady go down the garden singing? Blackbird and thrush were silent to hear the alleys ringing. Oh, saw you not my lady go in the garden there, shaming the rose and lily, for she is twice as fair.
That was a very nice drop of the arms near the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got the shakes.
Yes. Frank, such a nice young man, our lodger.
Best Victoria, wasn't it?
I wouldn't know, but our lodger's such a nice young man. Yes, Best Victoria.
It was a slightly naughty song, because it was sung by Best Victoria dressed, in the music halls, dressed as a child. And it's an ironic song, in that the child reveals that Papa was away most of the time, and the lodger was terribly kind and bathed them all. And the burthen went, our lodger's such a nice young man, such a good young man is he. So good, so kind to all the family. He's never going to leave us. Oh dear, no. He's such a goody man. Mama told us so.
Dennis, I'm not sure I can bear your song, but we'll try. It needs a fairly long breath. Scatterbrain.
Oh, yeah. I should get tongue lag somewhere. All right, you're as charming as the morning and refreshing as the rain. Isn't it a pity that you're such a scatterbrain? When you smile, it's so delightful. When you talk, it's so insane. Still, it's charming, chatter scatterbrain. And though I'll wind up apoplectic, there is nothing I can do. It's just the same as being in a hurricane. And though my life will be too hectic, I'm so much in love with you. Nothing else can matter. You're a charming scatterbrain.
There's a certain rogue charm about your performance, isn't there?
Winsome. It edged on the winsome. With a dimple in his voice.
With the giggle in the voice.
I had a dimple in my clenched fist.
Ian, admiration for a beautiful day. In fact, a serenade to a beautiful day. I'll give you a key.
The sun climbs over the hill to bid all the shadows be gone. The songbirds awaken to greet the dawn. The flowers so peaceful and still, the dewdrops like jewels adorn. And down by the river, a beautiful day is born. A serenade to a beautiful day.
It's a nice old song. We'll be reporting for duty again next week. Meanwhile, I have to announce, indeed I'm very proud to announce, a victory for Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. It's about time. Goodbye.
Taking part in My Music were John Amos, Frank Muir, Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. The chairman was Steve Race. The questions were compiled by Steve Race and the programme was produced by Tony Schreier. We present My Music. A musical panel game devised by Edward J. Mason and Tony Schreier. And here to introduce the teams is Steve Race.
Yes, it's My Music, and we have the familiar four, which means John Amos and Frank Muir versus Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. It's rather curious, perhaps, but virtually all of the world's most popular orchestral music was composed between roughly the 1770s and the 1890s. But just a few orchestral favourites were composed, gentlemen, in our lifetimes. In our lifetime. So, John, you first. What is this and when was it composed? Sounds like a great Hollywood biblical epic.
Is that intended to be a clue?
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
No.
Well, I'm not at all sure what that is. It sounds American to me.
No, absolutely.
Well, then it's Vaughan Williams.
No, it isn't. No. I don't quite get your drift, but it isn't, actually. Does anybody in the audience know what that was? No, it was from The Pines of Rome by Respighi. He did The Fountains of Rome, and that was from The Pines of Rome. You can get a mark by telling me what year that was composed, John. The Pines of Rome, Respighi.
1924?
Absolutely right, 1924. 1 mark to the gentleman. Frank, your turn. This was composed well into your lifetime. When and what is it? You know it.
Oh, Bliss.
Bliss, was it on that?
It's the Shape of Things to Come.
Yes.
From a Poisoning of Wells. And it's the date, wartime.
No.
35?
Pardon, John? I beg your pardon, John. 30. John's got it. 1935. Yes.
Incidentally, I was once at a...
I don't know what's happened.
You don't know what's happened? Well, the answer is 1935. Arthur Bliss, Things to Come.
Yeah. Lovely.
And I was once at a party, boat race party, and there were lots of composers there. With somebody saying of the smoked salmon sandwiches, "That's Bliss, isn't it?" And somebody said, "No, it's Lennox Berkeley." And it was, too. They were both there.
Sweet story.
I enjoyed that.
Yes. Ian, still written in one's own lifetime. You know, what is this and when was it written? Very catchy, very overscored.
It's the polka from Schwander the Bagpiper.
By?
Oh.
Yes. By Jove.
Yes, it's...
by Weinberger. And the year it was written?
I would say sort of middle 20s.
You should be nearly right. Near enough.
Nearly right. Well, 26.
27, near enough. 1927. Fair enough, you got the 2 marks. Dennis, I wonder how old you were when this was first tapped out. It's strange to think that when you were born, nobody had ever heard it. Was?
Well, I can get a slight fix on it because George Raft and Carol Lombard made a film called Bolero.
Yes, that's your way of approaching the masters, isn't it?
I think that was about 1934-35, so it must have been written before that.
That's right.
Well before. So I would say about 1930.
Near enough again. 1928.
Oh.
Did you remember the composer's name?
Yes, I did.
It wasn't George Raft?
No, Ravel.
Ravel's Bolero, 1928. You got the marks. Right, let's try another round. John, I read in a concert programme note by Fritz Spiegel the following words. Don't blame the tambourine player when he drops his instrument on the floor. That's what the composer asked for. Which composer, John?
Stravinsky?
Yes. Do you happen to know?
Petrushka?
Yes, in Petrushka. The tambourine player is to drop his instrument, and he does. Right. Frank, what is or was a ridotto?
It's an 18th century large musical drum. Drum. The 18th century society indulged in a large number of evening assemblies of various sorts. And they had names like Drum, Hurricane, Rout. Yes. and a drum was a large evening gathering, and a ridotto was a drum with music. In other words, it was a gathering which had a bit of music attached, usually at the beginning. The ridotto took over from the masquerade, because they had, around about the first couple of decades of the 18th century, they had masked balls which got so licentious that they were stamped upon, and the ridotto rather took over, which is a bit of music and singing, and then the licentiousness took place afterwards.
Yes, yes, Christopher Smart's songs set to music by Thomas Arne were typical ridotto fare. Ian, composer A found it intolerably wearisome. Composer B said of it, "I have been waiting all my life for that top A on the cellos." And as a result of hearing the work, he dedicated his remaining life to music. What was the work that so affected them, and who were they?
Oh, gracious.
And would you like a clue on the piano?
I would love a clue. It just shows the different opinions that people have of the same piece
One
of
says
music.
intolerably wearisome, the other one says I've been waiting all my life for this. Here's the clue.
Oh, well, it was Wagner,
Yes.
Tristan, and Isolde.
Yes, it was.
And who were the people who expressed these?
The one who found it intolerably wearisome was Tchaikovsky. The one who devoted the rest of his life to music as a result was Chabrier. And you have, I think, half a mark for identifying a piece of music.
I suppose Tchaikovsky had a feeling that with that particular part that somebody else was horning in on the romantic market. Different aspect of the same thing when Caruso had heard that there was some marvellous new tenor had appeared on the scene, and he decided to go and hear this chap. Heavily disguised. He put on a beard and a moustache and dark glasses and went into the gallery and sat like this at the time when, after all, he was reasonably well known. And he came home and said to his wife, "He's a good, but he's all right."
Where was I? Oh, yes, I was
about to lower the tone in
I
my
was about
favour,
to ask a question of Denis Norden. I was about to ask you, Denis, what is stride piano?
It's something clever the pianist is jazz. It's a jazz form, and it's about, the 20s, early 30s.
Sort of, yes.
I think of Willie the Lion Smith.
Do you really? Yes.
Yes.
What a good thing to think.
And it's something clever that they do, very swingy left hand.
Yes.
I tell you what, it's the opposite of Count Basie.
Yes.
Would that be right?
Yeah,
Discount
that's a
Basie.
nice point. Because Count Basie would be, yes, Count Basie would be playing, wouldn't he?
Yes.
But Fatsuwala would play, what's that? It's really that left-hand swing, as musicians one time used to call it. Do you think they were applauding you or me, Dennis?
I think you should divide the marks between you and Steve.
Yes, I do, yeah. That's the first time I felt at ease since this programme started.
I think we'll have a mark each for that. Yes. In the 8 tunes in the piano medley this week, the first letters of each song written down would spell out the name of a well-known musical comedy by Rodgers and Hammerstein, one that has an exclamation mark. John and Frank, the first 4 are for you to identify, and the second 4 are for Ian and Dennis. Here's the medley.
Go.
Right. Right now, can you tell me what they were? First of all, John and Frank, the first. Soli mio, yes.
Oh, solo mio.
And then came?
The second one was very short. You didn't even play the whole tone row.
No, I did not.
No. Would you play it again?
Yes.
Well,
you know what letter it begins with, surely, don't you? I don't.
Kerry
Thank
dance.
you, right. The Kerry dance, yes. Two more from your side.
Lullaby Broadway.
Thank you, and...
Off you've gone.
You've gone 2 out of 2. Very good.
Right. Oklahoma, for a bonus mark.
Or Carousel. That's 8 letters too, you know.
It doesn't. I tried that.
We got Okla. Now, how about the Homer? Ian and Dennis.
Heaven can wait.
Yes, this is paradise. Yes, next one. Also for you, I think.
Once in a while.
Once in a while.
Now the next one.
Yeah. Did you hit it, Ian? You know this.
Oh, yes. Now, wait a minute. It's, It was Malaguena.
Malaguena, yes. And the last one?
The Ascot Gavotte from My Fair Lady.
4 out of 4, 2 marks, absolutely right, and the title, of course, Oklahoma. Right. Good. Here are 4 what is it from questions, in the sense that one fine day is from Madame Butterfly, or If I Loved You is from Carousel. So, John, what is it from? Ocean, thou mighty monster.
Ocean der Ungeheuer. It's from Oberon.
From what? From what? I didn't hear a word of that. Mutter.
Mumbling into your
It's
mumbling again.
Weber,
yes, from Weber's... Oberon, thank you. I heard you that time. Yes.
Good.
Following our comments about typing and printing mistakes in titles, Mrs. Claire Richards wrote to me from an address in Droitwich, and she treasures a press reference to Verdi's opera, which is called Oh, Hello. Isn't that sweet? Oh, hello. Back to the... Frank, yes, what is it from? Many a New Day. From...
Will dawn until I do, yes. In the state of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yes, that's right, you get the mark there. Ian, what is it from? Glue, glue, glue. Or for that matter, drig, drig, drig.
I can only think of these ladies in the cabaret in The Merry Widow, sort of like...
No, I'm going to give you a clue. I wonder if I can give it to you, for half a mark, I wonder if I can give it to you with 2 chords. Right?
Oh, yeah. I know. That's Tales of Hoffman.
From the Tales of Hoffman, yes. Half a mark.
Where does it come in the Tales of Hoffman?
Don't ask me. We mustn't go into all...
Oh, I see.
Don't ask me. Dennis, Happy Days Are Here Again. From?
From?
Yes, what's it from? I thought Agar and Yellen.
Yes, but I didn't know it was from
MGM Film 1930. I don't think you know, do you?
MGM, yes. 1930. Not a Broadway melody.
No, it was written for Charles King.
No, I don't know.
Chasing Rainbows is the title of the film. Colin Sewell wrote to me from Mitcham in Surrey about that song. He was in the Royal Navy in World War I, serving under a commanding officer who he said was an absolute, really total swine. Many years later, he met a bandsman he knew on his way to this particular commanding officer's funeral. He said to the bandsman, "What are you going to play? Happy Days Are Here Again." The bandsman said, "No, Blaze Away." Gentlemen, in the good old days of cinema, every feature film used to begin with a sort of musical trademark. Time and again we saw and heard them, and of course we're still hearing them on these old television movies. For example... That was the Selznick theme, composed by Alfred Newman. So, John Amos, which film company used this musical identification? Music by Max
Denis
Steiner.
Norden is waving two fingers at me, but not in the usual way.
No.
I was doing
Like crossing swords.
Two searchlights crossing the sky.
Paramount.
No. Music by Max Steiner, who worked for this company for many, many years. Warner Brothers. It was the Warner Brothers musical trademark, and Dennis was wrong, yeah. Those Warner Brothers searchlights, Dennis, crossing the sky.
Yeah. I'll help you when your turn comes.
Frank, whose was this? There is a slight clue if you listen very carefully.
Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Yes, thank you. Metro Goldwyn there with, of course, Leo the Lion. Franz Waxman wrote the music for that, another of their great film composers. Ian, your fanfare had a special bit subsequently added to it for CinemaScope. Now,
20th Century Fox.
Absolutely, yes. 20th Century Fox with the CinemaScope edition, music by Alfred Newman. Dennis, whose films did this Jimmy McHugh fanfare introduce?
That's the one with the world going round.
Yes.
So, it originally had an aeroplane going round it, but then they substituted that with a kind of ribbon thing. That would be Universal.
Universal,
yeah.
Yes. Universal Pictures.
I do feel it's about time the girl with the ices came round.
Or at our old cinema with the flit. When I was in it before. And the centre arm. I once admitted in one of these programmes that the instrument I would most like to be able to play myself is the horn. And that inspired Betty Fuller, one of our regular audience members here, to suggest that there might possibly be a gifted, though undiscovered, horn player here on this stage. John, you first, and whoever gets the best sound gets the mark. No. Oh.
Give it to John.
Give it to John first, if you wouldn't mind. It was very oily Spiegel, wasn't it? Yeah. Frank, your turn. See if you can do better than that.
I think it once had chocolates in it.
Poetry. Over to Ian. Ian, that's going to take some following, I think, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Actually, you could play that and say it was feeding time.
He's a bit of a... He's a rather liquid player, I think, Dennis. You might give him...
I know when Jimmy Edwards used to do things with these, he always used to say, put it to your lips and then act as if ejecting a foreign body.
Yes, that's right. I don't think there's any doubt. I think the winner with one mark out of that round is Frank Muir, don't you? We come now to the party piece, the four songs that end our programme. The songs are about, respectively, a bush, a baby, and a chariot, with Dennis whistling in the dark at en route. John, a song from the altogether superior county in which I live, from the county of Buckinghamshire, the Prickety Bush, or the Prickly Bush. Nice little song.
"Oh, hangman, stay thy hand," he cried. "Oh, stay thy hand a while, for I do see my father dear coming over yonder stile. Oh, father, have you brought me gold, or will you set me free? Or be you come to see me hung all on this gallows tree?
No, I have not brought you gold, nor will I set you free, for I have come to see you hung all on this gallows tree. Oh, the prickly bush, it pricked my heart so sore. And if ever I get out this prickly bush, oh, I'll never get in any more.
Bravo, bravo. I'll start you off with yours, Frank. Pretty Baby. That one.
Everybody loves a baby, that's why I'm in love with you. Pretty baby, pretty baby. Oh, I'd like to be your sister, brother, dad, and mother too. Pretty baby, pretty baby. Won't you let me learn to take you in my cradle of love and cuddle all the time? 'Cause I want a loving baby, and it might as well be you. Pretty baby of mine. Pretty baby of mine.
You sounded straight out of Dennis Potter.
Yes. Dennis, so will you, I think, because it's a very similar sort of song.
Yeah.
Leighton and Johnston, that delicious piano and vocal team, used to, the couple I remember singing Whistling in the Dark.
I remember Derrickson and Brown. Nobody remembers. Whistling in the dark, I see the lights all over town, and I keep strolling up and down while I am whistling in the dark. Strolling in the park without a single thing to do. The night is black and I am blue. That's why I'm whistling in the dark.
Ian, I'll start you off with just a 2-bar introduction, which is, I'm coming to carry this home for you.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Ian looked over Jordan, I've just looked over the score sheet. It's a victory this week, 1 mark only in it, a victory for John Amos and Frank Muir. Goodbye.
Taking part in My Music were John Amos, Frank Muir, Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. The chairman was Steve Race. The questions were compiled by Steve Race and the program was produced by Tony Schreier. We present My Music, a musical panel game devised by Edward J. Mason and Tony Schreier. And here to introduce the teams is Steve Race.
Thank you. Allow me to present. On my left, John Amos and Frank Muir. On my right, Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. I'm told that this series, My Music, is not only seen and heard in Britain, it's also heard in every English-speaking country of the world. But, I ask myself, how about the world's musical cultures? Do we know enough about them? Let's see if you gentlemen can identify pretty closely the music of other lands. John Amos, you first. Where does this music come from? Any ideas, John?
Well, if it's not a record made by the late David Munro...
No, it's not. No.
Somebody said once, there's one place where you can hear all these shawms and rackets and God knows what, and that is in a Cairo nightclub. And it's true that those instruments have survived. So it could be egg-white.
No,
it could be Turkey.
No, it could be, where did you say?
Turkey.
Yes. Should we call it Turkey? Because people might like it to be called by its proper name. Your second choice, it was in fact, yes, recorded in Turkey at Silifke on the Mediterranean coast.
Well, it's all Islam, isn't it?
Yeah, the instruments were the zurna and the davul, and you've got, I think, 1.5 marks out of 2. It's your second choice. Very good. Turkish music. Frank, your turn. Where was this music recorded? Curious to our ears, the moment it started, it began to get slower, which is unusual, isn't it? Any ideas? It's nice, isn't it? It's rather nice music.
Yes, lovely, isn't it? It's not Bogner. It's far east.
Yes.
East of Mesopotamia.
Yes.
John thinks Java.
John is right. Dead on. Yes. Gamelan music from Java, Indonesia, Southeast Asia. Absolutely right. 2 marks. Gamelan. Gamelan music, yes. That's the name for that sort of red, dulcet, bell-like music. Lovely. Ian, your turn, and for you, a baritone. I just want to know fairly exactly where that was recorded.
That sort of... Yes. I always rather associate with India.
Yes, a part of. Would you like to give me a direction or
well, there's a lot of India, isn't there? And,
the town actually starts with my initials. The town in which it was recorded.
The town in which it starts with your initials.
SR.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, no,
Stevenage.
Sri Lanka.
That's Ceylon, isn't it?
Stevenage, Frank.
Stevenage.
Or else you'll say you get there on the Southern Railway.
Well, give me a direction in India. Give me sort of southeast, northwest, southern...
Well, let's say northwest frontier.
Northwest India gets you 1.5, which is what John got. Yes. The song was from southern Kashmir, Srinagar, starting with S-R, Srinagar.
Oh, there we are.
Fair enough. Denis, your turn. This is yours.
Paraguayan. Is that the Paraguayan harp?
You're in the right part of the world. Certainly in the right part of the world, but not the right actual country.
Well, somewhere in South America.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not what I'm accustomed, to.
Second, it's called The Song for the Drunken Conclusion of a Fiesta. That's what the title
That's catchy.
means. Yeah. Well, that's what it is, perhaps, rather than what it's called.
But they have fiestas everywhere,
Give me a country apart from Paraguay.
Tell me, Brazil.
No, Mexico. The Chiapas Highlands, Mexico. But you're close enough to get 1.5 marks, I think. No
Years ago, when Dennis and I were advising BBC television as to their comedy, Eric Maschwitz used to call us Los Layabouts.
I always associate South American music, actually, with the kind of 40s film where you used to hear that sort of Paraguayan harp, and then somebody would always say, "But senor, nobody works when it is fiesta."
Yeah. It's one of the great lines.
Yeah.
It's one of the great lines, yeah. Let's move on. Song lyrics provide the next 4 answers, but there is a penalty if you should happen to sing instead of saying the answer, so the answer must be verbal. John, during my Marble Hall dream, what pleased me most?
I dreamt...
Not only did you dream, you also sang. But I also dreamt, which pleased me most.
That absolves me from going any further, doesn't it?
Well, I'm afraid
so
it does.
I don't have to profess my ignorance.
No. But I also dreamt, which pleased me most, that you loved me still the same, from the song by Balfe. I dreamt I was a marble horse. You can't have a mark, I'm afraid. Frank, if you have no more money in the bank, what is the best thing to do?
Put out the light and go to bed.
Yes, that, in other words, as in...
No cute.
Let's put out the lights and go to sleep, actually.
To sleep. On the BBC, it was originally and go to bed, but the BBC in those days changed it. Let's go put out the light and go to sleep.
To rhyme with red.
Yes.
Ian, you've got a mark, Frank. Ian, according to Noel Coward, what do Cockneys do with their feet?
Oh, Cockney feet trace the something of history.
Very
I
near.
sang it a few weeks ago. You did. Of history.
You're near enough. They mark the beat of history, actually.
I sang then.
But you sang, so you lose your mark.
Oh, so I did.
Lose your mark, man. Lose a mark back.
It's that when you play the piano, you see.
Well, that's part of my deviousness.
And he pointed at me and said, I sang. And I said, yes. Oh, I was set up there.
Yes, really. Dennis, that Limehouse kid, which way is she going?
Going the way that the rest of them did.
Yes.
Careful.
No.
Don't sing. That's right. She's going the way that the rest of them did. You're right. You get the mark. This round is called Sons and Daughters. I want the panellists to tell me not the name of the singer, but the name of his or her offspring. John, who is this man's son?
And these few vintage years I'd share with you. These vintage years I'd share with you.
In 2 words?
John Huston.
John Huston, yes. Film director, son of Walter Huston, who was singing there. Yeah.
Thanks, Frank.
Frank, here's a lesson in vocal diction. Marvellous lesson, actually. But the question, of course, is who is this man's son, and can there be any doubt? Listen.
Oh, John Willie's ragtime band. When we play, all the people faint away. Oh, John Willie's ragtime band. What a mob when we're out upon the job. Hear us when we play on Wigan Pier. Mill girls flock around and give a cheer. And the colliers all shout by gum, here, mine's a beer, mine's a beer.
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same voice.
Exactly the same. George Formby Sr.
Yes, that's right. He was the singer, and he was the father, of course, of George Formby Jr. Yes.
Who took his stage name from the side of a goods truck in a station up north. It said Formby.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you remember what dear old Ted Ray's first stage name was? I was remembering. Can I tell you? He called himself Hugh Neek. unique.
He then called himself Nedlow, which was
Yes.
his real name, Olden, Charlie Olden.
Backwards. That's right. A dear man, Ted was. Yeah. Ian, who is this lady's daughter?
When he goes away, that's a rainy day. But when he comes back, that day is fine. The sun will shine.
Oh, yes. Her daughter is called Patricia Burke, and she was Mary Burke.
Mary Burke, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Tremendous attack.
Marvellous.
Marvellous.
Yes, that's right. Dennis, can you name this man's daughter?
You're so inconsistent. First you're very nice, then you're cold and distant, like a sheet of ice. I intend to say it twice. First you're very nice, and then you seem to change somehow.
I'm honest.
Yes. Be a little careful, though.
Yes, it's not Bobby House.
No,
is
that's
it?
right. No, it's not Bobby House, that's right.
No.
Sally Ann House calls his daughter. Who
Yeah.
then is it?
I don't know.
Oh, really?
No, I was expecting it to be Bobby House, because that's the verse of I'm on a Seesaw, isn't it?
Yes, but that wasn't particularly a Bobby House song. It was very much this man's song. Does anybody else know on the panel?
Was it somebody of that period?
Yes. Well, you can tell, really, the voice.
Was it Stanley Lupino?
No. He, I think, was in that show. In fact, when I
if
saw...
he was in that show, it must have been Laddie Flint.
When I saw Jill Darling, I think Roy Royston sang that song, if I remember rightly. Did you recognise the voice?
No.
He's been knighted since. The voice you heard was the voice
John
of
Mills.
Sir John Mills.
Yes.
Yes. And the daughter I wanted, of course, either Hayley Mills or Juliet Mills. Yes. But that was the voice of Johnny Mills in his sort of ingenue singing
Can you hear it again?
days.
It'd be terribly nice.
I wonder... would be rather nice. Let's just waste a little bit of time while our friends in the technical area wind the tape back and then play it to us again. It'd be probably nice to hear.
It was a very crafty one, that, because, I mean, it could have been Sally Ann House.
Very
Bobby.
like Bobby House. Anyway, let's hear Sir John Mills singing.
You're so inconsistent. First you're very nice, then you're cold and distant, like a sheet of ice. I intend to say it twice. First you're very nice, and then you seem to change somehow.
Obvious, isn't
Yes.
it?
He did sing very much in, you might say, living memory in The Good Companions,
Yes.
you see, which Andre Previn wrote with Johnny Mercer, the musical. Anyway, that was Sir John Mills. I think it's time we heard once again that fine choral ensemble Reading Phoenix Choir, just about the best of its type in Britain. Reading Phoenix Choir, music by Ethel Kodai, Zoltan Kodai. So the whole round here is provided by that choir. John, see if you could identify this composer. John, that composer was born in London but met a tragic end in 1950 in Ireland.
In Ireland. Then it's Ernest John Moyran.
Moyran, yes, M-O-E-R-A-N, yes, Moyran. He wrote a symphony I think is marvellous. You probably don't like it, I think, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Dee-dum, da-da, da-dee-dee. Yes. I once met him. I was just after the Walton Violin Concerto had been played for the first time, and I was walking down the street with Felix Abrahamian, and we were arguing. He said, there are no tunes in it. So I said, yes, there are, and I whistled one. And a voice at the end said, who's whistling Willie's Fiddle Concerto? In a slightly sort of, it's already 10 to 2 and the pubs have been open quite some time kind of voice.
Yes.
And it was the only time I met Mr. Moran.
That was a long time ago, yes. E.J. Moran, yes. Frank, the Reading Phoenix Choir commissioned a group of songs from John Gardner, of which this is the start of one.
Beauty bright,
Frank, when I tell you that the author of those words lived from 1750 to the 1820s, and his wife said of him, "I have very little of Mr. So-and-so's company, he is always in paradise." Can you name him?
I don't know.
No, William Blake. The gardener worked 9 poems from the notebook of William Blake.
But it was sheep.
She was Mrs. William Blake. Never mind. Never mind. Let's press on and see about Ian. Ian, this is the Song of the Blacksmith. Ian, that music was arranged by a man who began life as a trombonist but later became a schoolmaster. You've probably met his daughter, I think. Can you think who he might be?
That last bit, very helpful. Also,
the fact that you've met his daughter.
Yes, I have had the pleasure of meeting his daughter.
What was her first name?
Imogen.
That's right, yes.
Because it's Gustav Holst.
Yes, Gustav Holst was the arranger. You got a mark. Yes.
Quite a coincidence. I spoke to her today on the telephone.
Well, there you are.
I'm going to see her on Sunday. Isn't that amazing?
Dennis, this is about the prophet Ezekiel.
I spoke to him on the telephone. Frank and I never get to... we never get to meet any of these people.
I shall ignore that. I shall repeat. This is about the prophet Ezekiel. It's about the prophet Ezekiel, this song, and how he saw a wheel right in the middle of the air. Dennis, yes, I shall wipe that smile off your face. I want you to recall, of the various Old Testament books, where does the book of Ezekiel come?
I don't know.
Well, just short of the lion's den. Is that a clue of any use?
Yes, that's a clue of some magnitude. I would say it's somewhere near Daniel.
Yes, that's right. Between Lamentations and Daniel, but I really don't think you're going to get a mark view for that. No. I'd like to tell you that I had a lovely letter from Mr. and Mrs. Bickle of South Moulton in Devonshire. I mention it because of the choir. They're members of a local operatic company, and the girl apparently was very late for rehearsal one night, and she arrived and she said, "I'm so sorry I'm late," she said, "but the man following me was walking so slowly." Well, that might please you. I want you to listen, all 4 of you, to a piece of music which I don't think you'll know, though 1 or 2 of you might, and then tell me what you think it might well be called. Ready? Right, here it is. John, a title for that.
Well, I think I'll give my usual one, Symphony No. 7.
A safe answer.
The last movement, I think.
Yes. By whom might it be?
Sort of late Weber.
Well, we'll move on, I think. See what sort of a title Frank had for that. Frank.
I haven't got a title. It seemed to be music accompanying a silent film.
Did rather, didn't it?
Theda Bara juggling.
Yes. I thought so, although it was by no means that. Yes, Theda Bara juggling, and that's Ian, a title or a mood or something?
Is it? It's sort of knocking at the door and not getting an answer.
Yes.
A sort of a final demand in G flat.
So knocking at the door like sort of... I mean, that sort of music.
Well,
Fate knocking... Never mind. Dennis, a title, a thought?
Well, I'm never any good at these. The only thought about the picture I saw was probably way off. Is a kind of a storm at sea and ships towing. And I thought, I'm on a seashore.
It'll be my pleasure to give Dennis a mark for that, because it's quite near to the title, which is the overture to the Ruler of the Spirits. But John gets a mark because it was by Weber. The opening of Weber's
Ruler of the Spirits.
Right, songs that tell a story. That's the theme of our final round, the party pieces. John, your song was considered slightly naughty, not all that long ago. The Foggy, Foggy Dew.
I am a bachelor, I live all alone, and I work at the weaver's trade. And the only thing that I ever did was wrong, was to woo a fair young maid. I wooed her in the winter time, and in the summer too. And the only thing that I ever did was wrong, was to save her from the foggy, foggy dew. I'll now put on my Peter Pears voice, sort of. One night she came to my bedside as I lay fast asleep. She put her head upon my bed and she began to weep. She sighed, she cried, she damn near died. She said, what shall I do? So I hauled her into bed and I covered up her head just to keep her from the foggy, foggy dew.
Frank, your story song is about a lonely wait at the church door. Did he give you a key? Round about that.
It's sung by a female.
Indeed, yes.
I must make that claim. There was I, waiting at the church, waiting at the church, waiting at the church. Then I found he'd left me in the lurch. Oh, how it did upset me. Then once he sent me round a note. Here's the very note. This is what he wrote. Can't get away to marry you today. My wife won't let me.
Dennis, a song for someone more with charisma than with cantabile, which I think is about you. No. What happened when you raised your hat? I raised my hat.
Well, you've been raiding that rubbish bin again, haven't you? Oh, yes. The moon was in the sky. No, I'm sorry. The sky was full of moon. The moon was full of smiles. And I was filled with joy and ecstasy. So I raised my hat. She raised her eyes. And I was easy as ABC. We're going to the last bit. Now we've got a house. The house is full of rooms. And of course you know we've got a nursery. 'Cause I raised my hat, she raised her eyes. Now we're raising a, get this, family.
Ian Wallace... Oh, sorry.
Variants there, weren't we?
Well, not really.
No,
not a serious variance. A sort of mini variance.
Yes,
really.
we were together in principle.
Yeah, we were. That's right. Ian Wallace does not wear a chignon, I'll have you all to know, but he does sing about the garden where the praties grow. You don't wear a pratie either, Ian, do you?
Well, no, not even when they're chipped.
Not when you're out.
Have you ever been in love, me boys, or have you felt the pain? I'd sooner be in jail myself than be in love again. For the girl I love is beautiful, I'd have you all to know. And I met her in the garden where the praties grow. She was just the sort of creature, boys, that nature did intend to walk right through the world, me boys, without the Grecian bend. Nor did she wear a chignon, I'd have you all to know. And I met her in the garden where the praties grow. Oh, her parents, they consented and were blessed with children 3. 2 boys just like their mother, and the girl's the image of me. And now we're going to train them up the way they ought to go, for to dig in the garden where the praties grow.
We should be grateful for small Murphys.
It was a Mr. Plunkett Green who made that song famous, but it's not Mr. Plunkett Green who wins on this particular occasion. It's Messrs. John Amos and Frank Muir. Goodbye.
Taking part in My Music were John Amos, Frank Muir, Ian Wallace and Denis Norden. The chairman was Steve Race. The questions were compiled by Steve Race and the programme was produced by Tony Schreier.